your fucking your shit. You know, don't be a fucking Nazi. Don't be fat.
Hi everybody, welcome to another stream. Yesterday we did a poll, basically saying what did you want to see on a stream. Yesterday Chud Watch won, but number 2 was Sovereign Citizens. So I figured today why not do what the second winner was, the runner-up, as it were. So welcome, I hope you're all having a good day, a good Friday, a good end. Oh no, it's Thursday, shit. It is Thursday, isn't it? Whoopsie, sorry. I hope you're having a good Thursday. We will be doing D&D later on Jake's channel over at twitch.tv/actualjake. But until then, I thought we'd hang out and watch some Sovereign Citizen stuff. So I hope you're doing well. Baha is working on some emotes right now, so hopefully we'll have some new emotes relatively soon. Whenever she's done with that, she'll text me and I'll submit them, and they're very quick usually once I submit them to get approved. So... Captain Rachel says, I just found out I got the job I wanted. Congratulations! Good for you. That's awesome. CJ Oracle says, no cognizance of the 40-hour work week. You are the bourgeois.
There's nothing funny about the tools of capitalism.
Funny. Thank you, Cloud Wizard 42 for following. And thank you, Zoe R. Hamilton, for continuing your subscription. 3rd month. Fuck yeah. Thank you very much. Oh, thank you, Hylian Derp, for saying that. The Marusama, my rabbit Rune, turned 6 today. I made him a rabbit-safe cake. Very cute. Wish your rabbit a happy birthday for me. Arcana Stamper Blackwell says, so great news, everyone. I have great news. In preparation for my transition, I've lost 30 pounds and 3 inches off my waist. Wow! Good job. Everyone... round of applause, because that's tough. That's tough. I'm down still around 20 right now. Losing weight it can be real hard, and it's a test of, like, your self-control. So 30 pounds is amazing. Congratulations. Sincerely. Hannah is opposing our Gregorian worship. I don't even know what that means. Lupine, our new kitty's doing well. I don't know if anyone saw on Twitter. I posted a picture, but I think it was yesterday. She was coming up to us and cuddling and letting us pet her, and it was very nice. So, she's doing well. The fleas we're trying to get under control. We have some frontline stuff for her, and we've been combing her out and everything. We gave her a bath the other day, so hopefully, you know. Yeah, at some point it'll be nice if she gets comfortable enough to come in here during a stream and, you know, hang out. That'd be nice. We got a little tinfoil hat for her, too. I don't think she'll wear it, but it would be very funny if she did. Yeah, I miss Kiki, too, but she's with her mom, and not her literal mom. I mean, you know, her owner. And I'm sure she's okay. Do we have a bed and toys set up in that room? Oh, yeah. She hasn't really played with any of the toys yet, but she's just now getting comfortable, especially after we gave her a bath for the fleas. She's been doing much better, because I think she was very, very uncomfortable before we figured out she had fleas, and she was obviously, you know, infested with them. I hope she doesn't chew the hat. Oh, I would only have it on her with me watching her, so. It's not actual tin foil either. It's like a tin foil, like the one that it's made of the same material and the one I have. Where did I set that stupid tin foil hat? It's around here somewhere. Anyway, it's an actual tin foil. It's just like a shiny, crinkly material. Please tell me you don't keep the cat food and water next to each other. A lot of people don't know not to do that. No, I know. I know. Cats don't like their water next to their food. Seen a ton of YouTube videos, but this is the first time watching my live stream. Well, welcome, Woozle Effect. Thank you for coming to a live stream. I hope you enjoy the live experience. You've missed nothing so far, Miguar. We're still at the introductory, just waiting for your people to, you know, come in, part of the stream. Baja Blast 7175 says, sorry I moved the hat somewhere because I used your office for my presentation. Oh, it's fine. It's totally fine. I noticed because I saw some of the paintings are down, so I was like, oh, she used this for the presentation. Makes sense. Miggy R says, so did you eat your Sargon collab video? And if you did, as Jake J did, I put a warning on it and put a disclaimer in the description. I didn't delete it, though. Maybe someday, but I don't know. Bobbin for Giblets says, you are violating my rights if you play one more of these videos on stream. Funny. Alright. Probably time to get to the main event, as it were. So we have a bunch of stuff lined up today to look at. I think we're doing D&D around 8:30, so we have some time. Of course, here's my YouTube channel. I'd imagine at this point you guys are sick of me saying it, but hey, Schiller's gonna shill. So check out this YouTube channel. It's where I have all my stream archives and everything if you haven't seen it before. You can catch past streams if you missed them, and you can also find playlists of things by topic. So if you just want, like, conspiracy theory videos where I debunk them, there's a whole playlist for that. If you want just flat earth debunks, there's that. There's a new playlist for the new series I'm doing, Captain Cringe. There's a Sovereign Citizen playlist, which would obviously be of interest to you fine people here today. Karen Freakout's Wheel Streams. We have a big ol' 66 video playlist for Chud Watch, because that's like the majority of what I do, I'd say. But, you know, check it out. Subscribe if you haven't already. I'm very close to my goal of getting 1,000 subscribers. I'm at 800, and this is 898, but in my official, like, YouTube streamer app thing, I can see it's a little higher. It takes a while for this to update, so I have about 4 more subscribers than this says. But, yeah, we're under 100 away from my goal, which is amazing. So thank you, everyone who has subscribed over there. So, let us see what we have today. We have the Bears Law and Forensic Team. This is the team with, what's his name? Oh, gosh. What is his name? It's like Ronnie something. It's in the title of this video. Ronnie Davis, that's his name. Ronnie Davis, who is the head of this Bears Law and Forensic Team, which is sort of like a sovereign citizen cult with a compound where all the people who are part of it live at. And he's in jail. I don't know if he still is, I guess, but he was in jail for kidnapping, so we'll get a little context on that, because I pulled up a news footage somewhere. I pulled up some sort of news footage. Oh, I thought I had it. Maybe it was somewhere else, where it was, like, talking about his arrest and what it was for. So, we'll find that at some point. I have sovereign citizens in court and a bunch of other, you know, random sovereign citizens. Did someone ask a horny feet question? Jesus Christ. Oh, God. No, thank you. I know, it's tough because I don't have a WikiFeet page. So, anyway. Oh, here it is. Let's watch this video on Ronnie Davis getting arrested and charged for kidnapping, and then we'll watch some of his videos. Woo! That is a unpleasant intro. Jesus Christ, a non-resistance operations. Cringe! Oh my God. Just show the news footage. Jesus Christ.
The law.
Here we go. Sorry about that cringy opening.
You be humble, man. Stay in your place.
Take a look at this guy. He doesn't believe in paying taxes. He thinks the law doesn't apply to him. But tonight, the law has Ronnie Davis right where they want him, behind bars in Polk County. Now, Davis is the leader of a sovereign citizens group, and he's accused of holding a woman hostage at his base of operations in rural Polk County. Fox 13's Ken Suarez has the story.
Because he didn't honor his oath of office.
We watched this video a while back. He basically took him and his, quote, legal team into a courthouse and were, like, harassing people for information on judges. He likes to threaten judges a lot, which isn't a good thing to do if you don't want to wind up in jail. He also, after getting this kidnapping charge, was charged for impersonating a lawyer, or I think the actual term is unlawful practice of law, something along the lines of that. Because, surprise, surprise, just like impersonating a doctor, you aren't allowed to pretend to be a lawyer and try and practice law without passing the bar exam. What a shock.
Title 18, U.S.C. 2381, Canon number 7. When you violate your oath of office, you're a criminal.
Ronnie Davis doesn't think much of many judges or the judicial system. He's had a number of run-ins.
Is that woman missing a jaw? No, that usually happens when someone, like, loses their teeth, and over time, as they close their jaw, it can sort of shift. I've seen a thing on it. It's a result of losing your teeth and not getting dentures, basically. Jouster's end with 10 bits. Hi, Hannah. Hello.
With it.
I'm back.
I know. At least I'm glad it's you, actually.
He and his followers, members of the Bear Law and Forensic Science team, are definitely on the Polk County Sheriff's Office radar.
He followed us all the way home and then turns around. That's stalking.
Most every encounter is videotaped and posted on YouTube. Davis's most recent rumble with deputies was in Pasco County. Tuesday, he was arrested walking out of a courthouse. According to the affidavit, a Texas woman came here back in July to study under Davis. We don't know all the details of what happened because that affidavit has been blacked out by the Polk County Sheriff's Office. What we do know is this. The woman says Davis held her against her will. She said Davis would always tell the 24 people who live here that the only way to leave is in a body bag, or at minimum, on crutches.
Cult. It's a cult. It's a sovereign citizen cult.
A member of the group who would only speak to us by phone says that never happened. He says there are video cameras throughout the house and around the property to prove it. Neighbors tell us they're uncomfortable living nearby because members drive along their gravel road, videotaping them and their kids.
So I've got a case that involves yourself.
How can a guy get away with this shit? Yet a black guy can get tased
and now, because of the newest allegations against
arbitrary
Davis,
reasons.
There's
Racism. Oh God! Whoever compiled this is embarrassing. Jesus Christ! I gotta find another video on this because this guy's just the worst. Ronnie Davis. Why is every other channel that covers this fucking cringe as shit? Maybe I'm just not self-aware and I'm just as cringe, but like, hey, yikerinos. Ronnie Davis, remedy for crimes of child kidnapping by the state. Yikes. Anyway, you get the point. He kidnapped someone. So let's check out some of his videos where he's threatening judges. This is how he got the charge for the unlawful practice of law.
Be put on notice officially. Okay, as long as your supervisor knows that you're about to accrue a commercial lien and the judge himself may go to prison for federal child abduction and incarceration of this woman. As long as we understand, that's all good.
Sovereign citizens have this thing where they think that they can put liens against the property of other people if they believe that they have broken some law or done something that they don't agree with, and they interpret the law to say that they've done something illegal. So, for instance, in this case, Ronnie sort of specialized in parents who had their children taken away because they abused them or neglected them by CPS. And there are a lot of problems with CPS, but at the end of the day, it's good that these parents lost their kids. This isn't a situation where, you know, some nosy neighbor called and a parent was just, like, disciplining their kid and it got misinterpreted. No. These are parents who were actively abusing and neglecting their children. Rightfully, those children were taken away. Ronnie Davis would then talk to these parents, convince them that his sovereign citizen bullshit was true, get them into his cult, say, come live with me, we'll work together every day to try and get your kids back. And through this process, he would call judges who were involved in the cases in family court to take these kids away and say things like, you're going to go to jail, I'm going to file liens against you. If you don't know what a lien is, basically, like, let's say you have an outstanding debt or something. Someone can put a lien on your property, like your car or your home, and it effectively makes it so you have to pay it off, and if you don't, the person who has put the lien on it could theoretically repossess that item of property as if it is their own. Now, this is an actual legal thing that happens in the United States. I don't know about elsewhere, but if you just do it willy-nilly and frivolously without the right to do so, like, you need to get, like, court orders, or you need to be in specific legal circumstances to be able to do this. And if you don't, then it's a felony. You can't just file liens against other people's property when they don't actually owe you money. Like, you can't do that shit. M the Ambassador 19 with 10 bits. I know I've said this way too many times, but this man looks like he has his mugshot put in a juvie waiting room to scare teens away from meth. I've never been put in juvie, but I know some delinquents. I know what you mean. I know what you mean.
I need the officers' names and badge numbers immediately, Melissa. I need his name and number. I need his name and badge number. I need everybody's names and badge numbers right away. Canyon County Sheriff's Department, guys, hurry up and get Roger and Judge Doucette on this immediately, and I want this taken care of immediately. I want each one of these officers and this judge arrested by marshals today.
He does this weird thing where he claims that he's had a bunch of judges arrested, but it's never happened. So, I don't know. I don't know how these people in this cult can see him act this confident every day and then have nothing come of it, and then still believe him. That's, I guess, how a cult works, but I guess I don't understand it.
Kodak is who I'm going in front of. Kodak is the one who's involved, as well as Gary Meyer, and I already gave you that information. He just got handed this morning the full ticket.
Out of who?
So they plan on having an arrest me as soon as my court hearing is done.
Good.
Well, it's not set up over there yet.
That's fine. That's fine. That officer needs to go. We need a supervisor on the phone in regards to this matter.
He has to bring me a deal, and I guarantee it's been rubber stamped, and I don't think he understands who he was talking to.
That's okay. That's okay. They'll check my credentials and see that I'm a Superior Court judge before the day is out.
Ronnie, you have no credentials. You made those up. You can't just appoint yourself as a judge. That's not how anything works. You don't get to be like, I am a Superior Court judge, therefore I can write warrants and I can get people arrested. If everyone could do that, the entire justice system would break down. Dude Spanking Dudes meant to send this yesterday. You had this coming. I haven't posted them in weeks. Oh, it's a stone toss thing. Ugh. Save them for when we're doing Chud Watch. We're doing Sovereign Citizens today.
And then somebody's ass will be going to prison today or first thing in the morning. We'll see. I like the good old boy dirtball criminal regime.
Make sure that Toaster gets this information because they are going to arrest me as soon as court is over.
Where is Toasted on the radio?
I couldn't get a hold of him.
Somebody needs to get a hold of him. Keep calling him. Where is Corinne? Where is Lynx? I need somebody to get this on the radio right away. We can't fail. Here's another phone. Here, somebody get them on the phone somehow. This is what we do, folks. This is what we do for the dirtball criminal regime.
I told you they were going to do this.
I know. They're calling you a domestic terrorist, and you've done everything that...
By the way, if anyone needed to know why confidence men, why con men are called confidence men, this is why. If you act confident and you act like you know what you're doing, some people will believe you.
...is lawful and afforded by federal provisions, and now you're...
The Natural Man made a presentation 3.5 hours long. Jesus. Oh, God.
Domestic terrorist. Well, I guess that makes me a domestic terrorist too, then, doesn't it? I find that interesting, considering I'm Cherokee, Cheyenne, and Oglala Sioux with a hint of Irish. I find that interesting that these maggots come here and push this agenda and this extortion and treason under UCC 1-308, formerly 1-207, and now we are the terrorists. How quaint. How very fucking quaint. We'll just see before the day's out. You just keep me on the phone with these maggots. You just keep me on the phone with these...
It's disturbing how the people, like, close to him are laughing and like, yes, this insanity sounds right to me. He is nailing it.
Maggots, and we'll see what happens. This is what happens when the stupid drink too fucking much of their own gavel juice.
That's fucking awesome.
Watch what happens. Watch what happens. This is a retaliation attack against you for not signing your rights away to your child. That's why they're doing Melissa Boda like this, and that's why I am...
You don't need to sign away your rights to your child if you're abusing them. The government has the right to take your kid away if you abuse them. That's how the law works.
Helping you out. Now, they've sworn me in as a Superior Court judge. I haven't called me a Superior Court judge. I don't trust me as that. It's still too new. So I'm just going with what I know as a lawful American. And what I'm giving you now is legal counsel. It's the same thing I've been giving you all along, and it ain't going to stop now. What I need to do is speak with a supervisor immediately.
Can we talk about Trump's attempt to stop mail-in voting and how he doesn't seem to realize mail-in and absentee ballots are the same thing? It's fucked. You know, isn't it sad that all of us could see this coming? I think even Joe Biden mentioned this a while back. He's like, Trump's going to try and delay the election, which is literally what Trump talked about doing today. Luckily, he doesn't have the ability to do that. That's a congressional thing, and the states run elections, and Congress sets the date for them. So he has no actual power to do that. But at the end of the day, what decides whether or not you have the power to do something is whether or not someone stops you. So I guess we'll see what happens. I'm hoping that, once again, the Constitution will win out, and people will go by that. But hey, if people in the military agree with Trump and he says elections are postponed indefinitely, what's anyone gonna do? The Constitution only has power because we all agree to it. Just saying.
Okay. I am good. Yourself?
What's the website? Which website?
Yep. Okay, right off the bat, brother, I need to get with a lawful supervisor or any supervisor of any of the police officers, or preferably the judge's secretary, so that I can go ahead and put her on notice that this retaliation is going to be met today with a sworn affidavit.
Hello, Trans Finn. Welcome to the stream.
Being recorded by judicial officials right here now, and witnessed by other judicial officials, that what they're doing is a retaliative attack, a retaliation attack against her for not signing her rights away to her child. That's extortion. That's federal child abduction under Title 18 U.S.C. 1201, which you already know. You already know. That's why you're helping her out. These guys are a bunch of extortionists, and today that's going to stop.
Yes, sir. All right, we're going to try to just keep you on speaker here. We haven't called her in yet, but
We've seen the first little bit of this before, I think, but we haven't seen the whole thing.
Ask TC if he was sworn in.
Thank you again.
Okay, Melissa said that she sent you the link for the judge's secretary. Did you receive that?
I'm not sure, but I'm actually having somebody look that up right now. Melissa Bode is linked to the judge's secretary. We need to go ahead and...
David has it. If he looks up on the link that I sent that says Canyon County Courthouse, it has the judge's name, the secretary's name, and the phone number for the judge's chambers.
All right, we'll get with that right now. Let's see if we can change this. Hold on 1 second.
Ask TC if he was
I
sworn
told
in.
you Kodak was going to do this.
It's okay. We know what's coming, and we know how this is going to change. I just put that officer right there on notice. Where did he go?
That's the sheriff's department.
Yeah, that's right. He went back to the sheriff's department because I let him know that this call is being recorded and other judicial officials are witnessing it, and you're about to buy a commercial lien and degenerate revenue for the state because you're a bunch of child abductors and federal...
Again, threatening with illegal liens. You're literally threatening to break the law. Like, that's a bold move, Cotton. Let's see how it works out for you. It's not going to. If you file liens illegally, that is a felony. It's effectively stealing. You are stealing from someone if you file liens that you are not allowed to do.
Extortionists. That's why he ran back to the hive of maggots from whence he came. And watch what happens in just a little while. We'll walk through this day. I got time. I got fucking time. This thing's stuck. It's okay. Yep, that's okay, because you know what? I deal best with, I'm indigenous. I'm Cherokee, Cheyenne, and Oglala Sioux, and I'm kind of just standing next to Jesus. So I don't mind cowboys. A little salt, a little pepper, they go right down.
What the fuck does any of that word salad mean? I'm Cheyenne, I'm indigenous, so I'm next to Jesus. I'm fine with cowboys. With a little salt and pepper, it can go down. What? I can't find the pathway through the words he used in that sentence.
Chase them down with a cold one, At any rate, that's what's going to happen today, bro. These guys are just, this little girl's been through so much bullshit. Melissa's been through so much bullshit, as you already know. This is just crazy. This has got to stop. This is where this stops. I do this every day, and hers has been one of the rougher cases because she's dealing with a bunch of criminal dirtballs. There's got to be... Yeah, that Idaho, guys. Idaho, right? This is where this is. Everybody filming? This is Idaho. I want everybody to take into consideration that we've got some cleanup marshals in Idaho. Okay, for all my law officials. Another one I'm swearing in. All right, awesome. Make sure that everything is inked in red, brother, and you sign with a red ink pen and with your thumbprint. Get a red stamp.
Sovereign citizens believe that the only legal signature is one inked in red pen and often with a thumbprint or a fingerprint. I didn't hear him say that there. But they think that red pen, because it somehow in their head signifies blood, some of them will literally write in blood for this reason, because they don't think the symbology of the red pen is enough. But yeah, they believe that red pen ink or blood are the only signatures that are legally binding. Not true, of course, but here we are.
And the gold through the stamps.
Oh, see, he did say red thumbprint. Okay, yep.
I'll show you. Pretty soon you get credentials, you get a badge, you get a sidearm. It's whatever the hell you need to do, and that's what we're doing. We are enforcing the real law in this country, and that is that. And it's all lawful. I was sworn in I had 3 judges on the phone. 2 of them swore me in. Judge Doucette actually was the one to sign his name. Actually, I have 3 judges that have signed off on my oath of office to be a Superior Court judge. I do not refer to me as...
You didn't do an oath of office to be a Superior Court judge because you're not one. What are you talking about?
Superior Court judge. I do not relate that I'm a Superior Court
chat.
judge because I figure if you arrest me and start talking shit to me, I'll just wait till you figure out who I am. And it'll be a surprise.
They know who you are, Ronnie. You're the crazy person who bothers their office day in and day out.
Oh, I like that. Cops get mouthy and start getting lippy. Yep. Say it again, brother.
I only got like 3 hours of sleep, so Hannah's gonna be my pillow.
There's a couple few people I believe, and I have some on my page and some that are not, but they are really coming together nicely to get these things.
Do I think he actually believes this? To an extent, yeah. I think he's the kind of cult leader who believes in his own bullshit. Otherwise, what would the point be in calling all these people, right? He must know if it was entirely a scam. I mean, it's a scam whether he believes it or not. But if it was a scam that he didn't believe in, surely he would be going about this in a way that didn't incriminate him legally, which is what happened and why he's been charged with the unlawful practice of law.
Done.
I didn't get a haircut, so I normally wear my hair back in a ponytail like this, so it might look different. I did a couple weeks ago, like, reshave the sides, but thank you.
What to do is realize the difference that there is American, and we need to Google where the can came from off of Amerigo, this person. We also need to look...
That's not what America means. It's just because... The can in American isn't because they can do things. What?
Look up Americant. This is the son of a bitch who wants everybody to do something for him for nothing, and the world owes him a living. Poor me, my poor panocha. Everybody owes me. They don't save their kids. They bitch about it. Melissa actually took the steps, like yourself, to get educated. You picked out one day in your life, man. One day in your life, you just decided that I'm going to learn the real law. And you did, just like her. She called me and told me, hey, Baird, this is what's taking place. Can you help me? I don't have any damages on it because I love my babies. And they did. They took all of the kids for frivolous bullshit. And now they feel that they're going to get away with it. And unfortunately for them, and fortunately for her children, she got in touch with the right people that do give a shit and do know enforce them. So they violated every right that she has in the Title 18 USC 241 and 242, subsections of every USC. They've violated every one of her children's rights. You know,
no, they haven't. They helped those kids get away from abusive parents. That's not how this works. The state has ultimate power. You might not agree with that, and you could do things to change that if you think that that's something that isn't right. However, it is nonetheless the case. The state is sovereign. You are not. The state has all the power. They have the military. Right? The federal government controls the military, but the federal government empowers the states with the powers that they have. So, the state's authority comes from federal authority, which is backed by a military and the consent of the governed. That's why a country works. That's why a government works. It's not this magic thing that you can just declare. It's a fact of reality that we are describing. It's descriptive, not prescriptive. Basically, when we call something a government, it's because that a group of people have gotten together and decided, okay, we're in charge, and we can back that claim up, if need be by force, right? You cannot declare, hey, by the way, I'm also sovereign. Really? Can you back that up? Doubtful.
Parents have presumption right to child. Child has presumption right to parent. And they fuck that up because they do not care. And now they have to pay the price. So she needs to have somebody record, brother, with a phone when she's being arrested. Just get off the phone with me when they go to arrest her. After I've said what I have to say, please get whoever's with you to record and send me a copy immediately so I can add it as an addendum and send it to Roger Dowdell, Bill Lovett, and Judge Bruce Doucette and Judge Johnson immediately so that those officers and judges can be fucking arrested right away.
Yeah, you have.
I think I've heard, and I think on one occasion, I'm not directly sure. I've spoke with so many people, brother. But go ahead.
Yeah, I know. Lee Rice is going to have to get out here and leave Arthur Rice the second.
You've talked to him.
Very wonderful gentleman, friend of ours.
Awesome.
Anyway, he's walking in right now.
I'm gonna skip ahead and see if this escalates.
Okay. Okay. They're letting them in. Magic.
Ugh. Is that a... What is that? Is that the phone? Okay. That's enough for Ronnie for right now. We can maybe do more later, but let's do some Living Man, because Living Man is, I think, more entertaining, because he hasn't kidnapped anyone. So, I guess let's see what he has to say. Here's Montana's Natural Man Omnibus hearing for latest arrest exclusive coverage.
I cannot enter your jurisdiction, ma'am.
Okay, so
Have you read that?
Okay, so he's wearing as a cape what appears to be an American flag, but it's not quite. The stars and the background of the stars, their colors are flipped, and the stripes are going the wrong way. So I'm not sure what this particular flag is for. It's not the Montana flag, is it? Nope. I have no idea what that flag is.
Have you submitted that to Mr. Hayden, to the prosecutor?
I brought it down to the only place which is clerk of court, and there was no clerk of court, and I brought it on Tuesday in the good faith belief that this place is open for business on Tuesday, as I was told. And all that was here was for the pardon for you.
No, courts are open Thursdays and Fridays, so,
So I've already got a file.
So would you like to...
I think we've seen this same woman before dealing with him. Honestly, every day does she come to work thinking, is this crazy man gonna come into court in some insane outfit?
Talk to Mr. Hayden? You can talk to him via
Right out
video.
here in the hall. I can't pass through that doorway, ma'am. There's a reason why I look like this.
Okay, so,
Now,
Mr. Hayden, this is Mr. Turtlegate. You heard he said he can't enter the courtroom. Would you like to talk to him? Okay.
We can do it right out here in the hall. My first question to you is, are you associated with the bar? Mr. Hayden, answer the question. Are you Esquire? Do you bear title and nobility?
Okay, so let me explain that one. Sovereign citizens will... There was a proposed amendment which was never ratified that was originally, I think, going to be the 13th Amendment that effectively said, hey, if you receive a title, if you're an American citizen and you receive a title of nobility from a foreign government or any emoluments from a foreign government, your citizenship will be stripped away. Now, this proposed 13th Amendment, which was never ratified, was accidentally published in some books as the 13th Amendment. So, sovereign citizens believe that it actually wasn't a mistake. It was some sort of cover-up, and that the 13th Amendment actually says this, that if you receive a title of nobility from a foreign government, that you can have your citizenship stripped away. And then they have jumped from that to the idea that becoming a member of the bar, getting the title of Esquire if you are a lawyer and pass the bar exam, is somehow tantamount to receiving a title from a foreign government, despite the fact that the Bar Association is local. And when I say local, I mean, you know, within the United States or relative to the state in which you live. Like, there's a California bar, there's a Michigan bar, you know, you gotta pass bar exams based on the state that you're in. So, it's a whole bunch of mumbo-jumbo that means nothing. They believe that they can say to the judge or whoever, you went to law school, you are part of the bar, therefore you have received a title from a foreign government, and therefore you're not a citizen of the United States and cannot be a judge, and you have no authority over me. It's all bullshit. It's all bullshit. You really gotta dig in to see how convoluted this stuff goes. They think BAR stands for British Accounts and Registry or something, yeah, which is not what it stands for. At all. So, it's a bunch of bullshit, all connected by red string, a la A Beautiful Mind, and they just say it like other people are going to know what they're talking about. It takes concerted research to figure out where they're getting this nonsense from. It's the flag of the Revenue Cutter Service. What's the Revenue Cutter Service? Let's see. Revenue Cutter Service. Revenue Cutter Service was established by an act of Congress. Blah, blah, blah. Let me look at the Wikipedia. As the Revenue Marine upon the recommendation of Secretary of Treasury Alexander Hamilton to serve as an armed customs enforcement service. As time passed, the service gradually gained missions, either voluntarily or by legislation, including those of a military nature. It was generally referred to as the Revenue Marine until July 31st, 1894, when it was officially renamed the Revenue Cutter Service. The Revenue Cutter Service operated under the authority of the U.S. Department of the Treasury. On 18th of January 1915, the service was merged by an act of Congress with the United States Life-Saving Service to form the United States Coast Guard. Interesting. Don't know why he thinks that's relevant to what he's doing.
I want to uphold the Constitution of the United States, Mr. Hayden, and you want me to violate it. That's why you're soliciting my participation in the violation you wish to commit on restraint
cool flag.
On alienation. I cannot do that.
So we'll have your hearing. If you want to stand and listen, you're more than welcome to.
All right, so on camera, here's what's happening. Step up. Cannot cross the bar, okay? So what you're going to watch here is you're going to watch a hearing that I'm standing right here refusing to cross because I'm upholding the 1789 Constitution of the...
Frankly, I don't understand why they think that it works this way, and not only that, I don't understand why the court is dealing with his bullshit. I would have arrested him for contempt of court multiple times. How fucking annoying. You've been called to court, presumably with a subpoena. Get in this courtroom, or go to jail. Like, what a waste of everyone's time. The courts are backed up enough. They don't need this bullshit.
United States. Make sure, okay. This is a hearing in what's called
The description on the wiki says, the claimed United States civil flag, according to one conspiracy theory based on a misunderstanding of a reference to U.S. Customs, Coast Guard flags, and the introduction to Nathaniel Hawthorne's Scarlet Letter. For an example of the actual real U.S. Customs Coast Guard flags on which this is based, see file Flag of the United States Customs Service. Interesting.
Sent you. You will see that Stormy and Clifton Hayden are participating together in a collusion and conspiracy to commit an act of inland piracy, this room being a star chamber. You see that?
I'm not familiar with the Star Chamber nomenclature. The term Star Chamber refers pejoratively to any secret or closed meeting held by a judicial or executive body. The room where it happened, basically, from Hamilton, sort of. Okay, gotcha.
The standard flag right there, that's called a Star Chamber flag. And it is a distillery configurations on it. That is a quart of England. All right. Now, I refuse to participate with that because for me to do so sets me in violation.
Here's a conspiracy website about the flag. Oh, God. Oh, look at how bad the formatting is, too. It only, like, does half my screen. Let's see. United States flag, the banner of the Republic and law under the Constitution. They can give up essential liberty to obtain a little temporary safety, deserve neither liberty nor safety. Benjamin Franklin, I don't care. From the loftiest point of its roof, during precisely 3.5 hours of each forenoon, floats or droops and breeze or calm the banner of the Republic, but with the 13 stripes turned vertically instead of horizontally, and thus indicating that a civil and not military post of Uncle Sam's government is here established. Oh, God. U.S. civil flag, that's from the Scarlet Letter. U.S. civil flags is seen in the restoration of a common law government as defined in the Declaration of Independence and the Constitution of the United States of America, and the reinstitution of a debt and usury-free gold-based currency coined by the Treasury of the United States. Again, with the obsession with the gold standard. Who cares? Fly the flag, restore the dream. The Sons of Liberty inspired a revolution that broke the chains of royal control over people yearning to be free, as long as you are a white land-owning man. The flag they flew was red and white with stripes running vertically. Admiralty law. Oh, God, with this shit. Admiralty law encompasses all controversies arising out of acts done upon or relating to the sea and questions of prize. Prize is the law dealing with war and the spoils of war, such as capture of ships, goods, materials, property, both real and personal. Jesus H. Christ.
Of our Constitution of the United States of America, 1789. So, probably, what they're going to do is they're going to find me guilty. They're going to find the corporate slave that I refuse to impersonate guilty in absentia here because I refuse to impersonate.
No, you will be found guilty and held in contempt of court because you refuse to enter the courtroom which you have been subpoenaed to answer for whatever crimes that you've done, whether it's not paying taxes or whatever it might be.
The all capitals federal slave. Impersonation is a federal crime. If I was foolish enough to commit an impersonation, I could be put away for 20 years. Whatever I have to face, I will have to face because I refuse to commit a crime.
No, you're not impersonating anyone. There is no straw man version of you on paper that you are impersonating when you appear in court when you're summoned. It is you. When the court says whatever this guy's legal name is, they are not referring to some made-up bullshit corporation. They mean you. The person, the individual. That is what they mean.
So they're going to talk over top of me, and I'm going to keep talking right on through it.
I don't know why he's wearing the gloves. It seems like he must be very warm with that thick-ass coat, the cargo pants, and the thick gloves.
Or we can view and listen, if you would like. You all know my purpose, and what I have here behind this is my...
I'm getting redneck white guy Flava Flav vibes off, because of the no hunting or trespassing.
Little booklet of the 1789 Constitution. This sign for no trespassing. Under penalty of law. Want to listen?
Flava Flav. Oh, so this guy can enter the court. Okay. Seems arbitrary, but whatever you say.
This gentleman says he thinks it's January 26th. And so does Mrs. Turner. Yeah, but I think we're pushing everything back because we didn't have the omnibus because Mr. Turner was incarcerated. Okay, so the free trial then will be the 26th of January. And we will do, at that point, we'll determine if it's going to bench or jury, but we will push the trial date
It's going to jury.
February.
I refuse bench on the record.
That's not how it works. You don't get to decide whether you have a bench trial or a jury trial, depending on the context. I believe the Supreme Court has held that you need to have a sentence possible that's like either a minimum of a year or 6 months or something like that in a criminal case, and in that case you are afforded a jury trial. But less than that, no, you typically get a bench trial, which is when the judge makes a determination as opposed to a jury.
This will be jury trial by a jury of those that know me, purpose of the word peers.
Okay. So,
No, the word peers does not mean when you are afforded a jury trial by a jury of your peers. Does not mean it's by people that literally know who you are. In fact, quite the opposite. Voir dire, which is the process by which you basically jury select. I don't know if anyone's ever been called for jury duty, but if so, you may have gone through this process. They ask you, does anyone, like, know this person or have any reason why there might be conflicts of interest in you being able to be an impartial juror? So if you know the person personally, like if you know Natural Man, it is your obligation as a juror to disclose that to the court, and they will dismiss you as a juror, because that would be improper. You know that person. Even if they're guilty, you might find them innocent. Peers just means by people who are peers to you. I know I just defined a word with a word. Let me do that better. It's people who are in the same community, people who reflect the same values, more or less, as you. I mean, it's very broad, but that same language has been used, for instance, in the Supreme Court to say that, like, if you are a minority, if you're black, let's say, and your jury is entirely white people, that doesn't necessarily reflect a jury of your peers. So they found that you can request, basically, making sure you get a jury that's reflective of, at least in part, people who might understand what you're going through.
From the hallway says that he's requesting jury trial, so that's fine with the court. It'll be February 16th. I believe that's a Thursday. Okay, February 16th at 10 a.m. Okay. All right. So then, this case will go to pre-trial on the 26th of January. All right, thanks, Judge. All right, thank you.
For the court
I'll call you back for the other one.
That is acceptable
All
to
right.
me.
Bye.
I will work with that. But Stormy will have to take me as a prisoner.
There's nothing funny about the tools of capitalism.
Cotton Candy 903 with a bit. Hello, just got here. What did I miss? Natural Man refusing to enter a courtroom. Basically.
I will try. Thank you very much.
Now, Stormy?
Yes.
Daddy Sume has a link about this.
All right.
Montana Mountain Man sent to jail after refusing to remove hat. Ah! Ernie Wayne Turtlegeet, oh god. Turtlegut? Is that how you pronounce that? I'm not sure. That's basically exactly the kind of name I expected, to be honest. The self-proclaimed natural man, who became an internet sensation for his pro se defense, pro se meaning defending oneself in court without a lawyer, for his pro se defense of his fishing rights in a Montana courtroom, was sent to jail on January 27th for refusing to remove his hat in court. In his piece titled "Montana Man Sent to Jail for Courtroom Contempt," MTN News reporter Beth Sobe, who was apparently at the scene, described the hearing this way, quote, "The hearing opened with a request by Justice of the Peace Rick West that Turtlegut remove his hat in the courtroom. Oh god. Turtlegut repeatedly refused and walked towards the exit as if he were leaving. West warned him that he would be held in contempt if he did not remove his hat and return to the front of the courtroom, but Turtlegut did not comply and he was taken into custody. He was sentenced to 30 days in jail and a $500 fine. Turtlegut became famous for a court appearance back in 2013 in which he appeared on charges of fishing without a license, obstructing a peace officer, and resisting arrest during short court appearance less than 15 minutes. I'm just going to use pronouns because I can't pronounce that shit. He argued on natural law grounds that the state could not prevent a man for foraging for food. He pointed out that the U.S. flag in the courtroom was gold fringe and called the flag the Jolly Roger and the entire hearing a con. Sovereign citizens believe that gold fringe on a flag in a courtroom means that it is actually an admiralty court and they are operating under maritime law. Of course, not the case. That's not what that means. Any flag in the U.S. can have a gold fringe on it, or not. It's one of the only things that the flag code says a flag can either have or not, and they're both valid. Not that people, follow the flag code anyway, but I'm just saying, like, in a federal courtroom, it can have a fringe, it cannot have a fringe. They often go for the fringe because it looks sort of official for some reason. I think it looks ugly, but hey, it's a courtroom. They don't need to have design sense. The original hearing ended with both him and Three Forks City Judge Wanda Drush walking out of court after he refused to recognize the court's authority. It appears that he attempted to do the exact same thing this time, but was taken into custody at the door. Video cameras were apparently not allowed in the court at all during this hearing, likely because of the national attention he garnered after his first appearance. Yeah.
Some addendums I have filed that you're holding in your hands. You have a good amount of time to work through it.
Miggy R says, "Oh yeah, I forgot Herman Cain died because of COVID-19. Life comes at you fast when you can survive an unpreventable death of cancer, but kick the bucket on a completely preventable disease." And his staffers were still publishing anti-mask COVID tweets, like, up until last night. It's sick. Republicans will never fucking learn. I tell ya. They're a goddamn death cult.
Do you have my phone number?
Oh, shit, let me double check.
You do. Yes, ma'am.
I do not. What is your phone number?
599
Uh-huh.
6299.
Okay.
As you work through that stuff, you're just about bound to develop questions. Do yourself and me the honor, just briefly write down your questions, and please feel free to give me a call. I'm not talking out of my hind end or just making stuff up.
You are, though. You are talking out of your hind end exclusively. None of what you said has a basis in actual legal, scholarship. Nothing that you have said has precedence in the U.S. legal system. Period.
Okay? You have a chance, standing here in the form of me and this area of yours, to oversee one of the greatest cases out of one of the simplest appearances that can be. I've been through this is...
Oh, stop crinkling. I'm going to skip ahead to when they get outside.
Okay, so my question is, there was not the setup that you were talking about with the bar cross.
It's imaginary.
Okay.
The line in the sand is imaginary.
And the flag was not with the gold fringe.
So he's presumably he had told these other mountain men, as they look to be, there's going to be a gold fringe because it's an admiralty court, and there's going to be this, this, and that. All these sovereign citizen, bullshit things that they believe, and none of that was there. And they're like, hey, why was that? And instead of being like, oh, I was wrong, actually, it's not an admiralty court, none of that means anything, it's just a courtroom, he's going to come up with some bullshit excuse.
That's right. No, it's still a star chamber. Okay. That doesn't make any difference, okay?
Okay, but, it apparently does, because when there is a fringe, you bring it up. So if the fringe means nothing, then why do you claim it means something when there is that?
Gold fringes around it, you're seeing corporate mayoralty, or maritime, is what you're seeing.
No! No, you're not! That's not what that means. You know what that means? It means the persons whose job it was to pick what flag goes in that court went, oh, this one with gold fringe looks nice. It's literally all it means.
Corporate maritime, which means a law of the sea as if it were over the land. That is a land flag, but what is on the land? The full study of history reveals that is the standard of a star chamber. A star chamber is a court of... Well, let's finish this there. And now, we're on the record now.
Okay, so we're here with Ernie, Montana's natural man. We've just been to an omnibus hearing. That was a result of a detainment due to not having a specific ID, which you don't agree with. Tell us what happened. So with the omnibus hearing specifically, recap that, and then tell us what's going to be happening next.
Okay. This morning was supposed to be what was called an omnibus hearing, according to the paperwork that the court has unlawfully forwarded to me, who I'm not the slave. I always have said that.
It's not unlawful. They sent you a subpoena. That's lawful. It's from the court. If you get something from a court, not always the case. There are exceptions, of course, and you can get your things thrown out if it is unlawful. But 99.999% of the time, if you get something from a court, it's lawful. Because you know who tends to know the law? Judges.
So the point of it is that what they wanted to happen today didn't. Because I cannot enter into their jurisdiction, I am constitutionally 1789 restrained. So what they attempted to do has been thwarted today. They're going to have to try it again on the 26th of January. All right. When I refused to enter into Stormy's jurisdiction, I wouldn't pass through that door, and she refused.
And Stormy's a local magistrate.
Stormy is the local municipal administrator, who's posing as if she's a constitutional magistrate. Okay? When I wouldn't enter into that jurisdiction, and I told her she would have to take me as a prisoner of war on the record, she made no comment. I don't know what'll come out of that. We'll see in time. It'll play out in the course of time, is about all I can say there.
I don't think she heard you.
So, maybe she didn't. It'll come up again, believe you me. I've been through this. This is the 12th time. So, what they wanted to happen today was she should have read whatever charges called allegements that the state is trying to make against me. She should have read them.
I'm pretty sure today they were just setting a date for your arraignment. That's not what you do today. Today they're just setting a date for your actual, like, arraignment court date where they'll go over charges and stuff.
And they were expecting me to be complicit with their commission of violation of restraint on their alienation. And she expected me to pass through those doors under threat of duress and coercion of, you heard Clifton Hayden, who wouldn't answer the question if he was bar, carried title of nobility, was an escort.
Bar is not a title of nobility. Being a lawyer is not a title of nobility, and it certainly isn't one from a foreign government.
Esquire or not, because he's guilty of all three.
So, who is Clifton?
Clifton Hayden is posing as court counsel. He's there to sabotage Stormy. And me, if he can get it done.
So he is for the prosecution or your defender?
He's prosecution for the state. I have no defender. I refuse all their proposed actors, and I speak for myself. I present myself in, of, and as I am. I am that I am. That phrase.
That's all that I am.
That's it.
That's a quote from God. It seems a little, narcissistic to apply that phrase to oneself, but alright. Let me turn the air up. I'll be right back.
Okay. So she and Clifton conspired and colluded together in spite of their...
Isn't that a quote from Popeye? I am that I am. Yeah, but like God also said, I am that I am.
being
So,
filmed evidence of...
let me see. I'm pretty sure. I know it was... hold on. Yeah, God said that. In the book of Exodus, I believe it happens when Moses is confronted with the burning bush. God, he asks the bush, like, who are you? And he says, I am that I am. And it's God. Yahweh,
right
more
at the door
specifically.
without passing through that door and crossing that imaginary line on the carpet that your eyes can't see, but she claims...
Yeah, there's charisma saves tonight. I think we're starting at 8:30.
That's where her jurisdiction begins. So that seam of where the two carpets in the hallway and her door come together, that seam would pass for the imaginary bar. The bar is a little spit of land. In the hall where I stood, I'm on dry land. If I pass over that jurisdiction, it would be as if I went out to sea, and it would become a sea trial for naval personnel or marine, which is not me. I am a landed state national.
So let me ask you this. Is there a legitimate court in America that...
You know a lot about the Bible. Are you a believer? No. I'm an atheist. I've just spent the last decade or so, I do on YouTube, on Hannah and Jake. Jake and I do a atheist Bible study, so I've read almost the entire Bible. And I was a believer at one point. I went to Christian school, so I know, you know, I'm not an expert by any means, but I know a lot about it, so.
You could cross into and have proper jurisdiction.
Like, I find Christian mythology to be, like, incredibly fascinating. Some people might not like me calling it mythology, but as a non-believer, that's how I view it, and I find it interesting, especially the Old Testament. Jesus is fun, and there's some cool stuff in the New Testament, but man, the Old Testament is just bonkers awesome sometimes, like, taken as what it is.
More of...
What would be the qualifications for that?
Oh, too lengthy for what little time we got here, but it would have to be a proper, a true to the letter. 1789 constitutionally arisen, founded, based, and backed court of common law. That is the law form that is pertinent to the jurisdiction of a state national American, which is what I am. It is common law. That is the supreme law of the land in Article 6 of the 1789 contract. Okay? For me to cross over that bar is for me to violate this.
If you do check out the Bible study, which just got linked, bear in mind, I was like 18 when we started, so I was like a super cringy, edgy atheist when we started out, but over time, I softened and, like, I don't care. If someone wants to believe in the Bible, that's their business, I don't care. So just beware, there's some, like, cringy edgelord stuff in that early stuff if you end up checking it out.
1789 restraint. If I violate those lawful restraints laid on me, and I enter into a jurisdiction that is foreign to mine, then two things have happened. A, I am committing an act of treason against my proper jurisdictional restraints on me, first, to know what I am, who I am.
Was I an anti-theist? I was pretty anti-theistic at the time. I legit was like, I was in that phrase, I was pretty new to, like, being a non-believer. I went to Christian school, and my parents are religious, my mom more so than my dad, and I was just really mad about it. I was mad that I felt lied to, so I, like, got really, really anti-religious. And I still think religion isn't true, and I think that it leads to a lot of problems, but basically anything involving humans leads to problems, so. At the end of the day, I don't really care what other people think, as long as it doesn't hurt other people. Now, if you start to try and use your religion to justify, like, being anti-trans or anti-gay or whatever, that's a whole other story, and that's something that needs to be addressed. But, like, in terms of people just believing, like, a certain religion, whether it's Christianity, Judaism, Islam, Hinduism, Buddhism, whatever, fine, I don't care. If it gets you through the day, I understand, as long as you also recognize that you live in the real world and, like, science is real and, you know, aren't, like, a climate change denier because of it.
And what pertains to me. Second, the instant I step across there, I am now caught in the act of having set myself up as impersonating a person of that jurisdiction. It's very treacherous semantical game. Okay? You have to know the terminology, and I'm no expert.
Look at this dog and cat says, you might not want to do it because it's over an hour long, but Hovind does have a whole video about redeeming the straw man, yeah. I have this bookmarked. We'll do it at some point.
They failed again.
We did a different one of his, which are pretty good, but...
Because if there is no contract, can you enforce a deal if there is no contract? No. A deal cannot be enforced if there is no contract, and there is...
Do you understand what the social contract entails? You don't need to literally sign a contract to say, I agree to the laws of the United States. The fact is, we all live here. If you were born here, you are a birthright citizen, or if you came here and gained citizenship, you're a naturalized citizen, or even if you're just here visiting or have a green card or whatever, you are still under the purview of the laws of the land, because that's how society works. We live in a society, to quote the Joker. Like, you don't have to literally sign a piece of paper consenting. It's just something we've all agreed to, more or less. And when society decides, at least enough of them, that they don't agree with the current social contract, you get revolutions. Some successful, some not. But unless you're willing to, like, overthrow the United States government, which I wouldn't recommend, they're the ones with all the bombs and tanks and drones. If that's your intention, then you can claim that you're no longer a part of the social contract, but as long as you're living under the contract that we all sort of passively agree to, it's part of it. You don't need to consent. You've already consented.
Contracts extant between Stormy and I, or the state and I, or Clifton Hayden and I. There's no one. There's no evidence to be brought forward. And for the state to prove, the state being the one who's accusing me as if I were the guilty party, for the state to try to lay it on me to prove their crime is the reverse psychology of those who take oaths to the bar. They want me to play the part of the defendant while they play the holy and spiritual part of the offended plaintiff. The actuality is that...
It has nothing to do with spirituality. You're the defendant because you are accused of a crime. You've been, not convicted. What's the word I'm thinking of? God, why am I blanking? This is like the most basic legal terminology. You've been arrested for a crime. You've been, I'm waiting for chat to save my ass from looking like an idiot. Too late, but, you know. You've been charged. Jesus fucking Christ. You've been charged with a crime, which is basically, legally speaking, you've been officially accused of it, and now the court is going to try and prosecute you, and the burden of proof is on them to prove that you have committed this crime, because, of course, in this country, you are innocent until proven guilty. So the burden of proof is on them. It has nothing to do with, like, they have the spiritual blah, 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 blah. No. Not how this works.
All of the theys involved in this, agents, actors, principals, the notice to them is that they have offended the 1789 constitutional restraints. In such offense, they...
The only constitution that these people believe is valid, it depends on the person, but like specifically him and his Mountain Man brand of sovereign citizen believes that any amendments to the Constitution, like after 1789, because I believe that's when the Constitution was initially, ratified, after the Articles of Confederation kind of fell the fuck apart, he believes that that's the true Constitution, and a ton of the alterations that have happened over time make it, not right. Whatever.
They have alienated themselves from those constitutional restraints, which is an act of treason. If you are found in opposition to the 1789 Constitution, and a chance is given to you to correct the error of your ways, to right the ship, and get yourself on the true course of navigation, get in that jurisdiction you're supposed to be in by contract law, and you don't, then the charge of treason comes forward. Now, I need to answer your question here.
Does that mean he doesn't think women or black people should have the right to vote? I don't know. I don't know if this dude's racist or what.
So much to this, it's like impossible to ever keep.
He always quotes the 1789 Constitution, though. He never just says the Constitution. So, which is funny because when he's talking about, like, the bar and having passed the bar exam and becoming a lawyer counts as, like, getting a title from a foreign government, which of course it doesn't. He quotes the bullshit 13th Amendment, which was never ratified. I mean, there is a real 13th Amendment, but there was this other 13th Amendment that was proposed but never ratified, but sovereign citizens sometimes think that it was secretly and it's a cover-up, that says that your citizenship can be stripped away if you receive a title or emoluments from a foreign government. So he thinks that that amendment, which didn't even exist, wasn't ratified. He thinks that's fine, but he always quotes the 1789 Constitution, and I don't know why.
Keep it short and simple. Suffice it to say that they failed again. There still is no contract. And nobody can say that I didn't parry it. You even saw Stormy come out into the hall, leaving her jurisdiction behind, and came out into the hall. Okay, she should never have done that. That was an act of unwitting incompetence on her part, and you're probably right. And I made it plain in my 20-page amicus curiae to her, my friend of the court brief, that there's a whole lot of things that I expect she doesn't know that would probably change her position in life. Thank you, ma'am. That would probably change her position and the way she operates. So, Clifton Hayden, who would not answer my questions as to whether he was bar member, esquire, or bore any title of nobility.
He knows the first 10 weren't ratified for several years, right? I have no idea.
His answer is
a trial of your peers who know you. Explain what's going to happen next as far as
they're going to have to try to have another today. They're going to try to have that next today on the 26th of January coming. They're calling it a pre-trial hearing. They still have not had an omnibus. It failed again today because I refused to comply with their solicitation to participate in their violation of restraints upon them to keep them from alienating constitutional law from themselves. I'm sorry for the mental tennis that this requires, but it's mental tennis, and this is how the subject works back and forth, okay?
I'll be the referee.
Who's winning?
So far, you're looking good.
Oh, yeehaw. So that's the deal. Now, what'll happen
It
on the
seems
26th?
like his wife knows that this is bullshit. If you watch her reactions, and she's just, like, going along with it, and I feel bad for her.
When I refuse to cross that jurisdiction again, I will not enter in past that doorway. I won't cross the imaginary line. You already heard
I
me.
assume that's his wife. I guess I shouldn't assume that, but it seemed like it was maybe his wife. Cotton Candy 903. I wonder if they think bar, however you spell it, is a foreign title because they use the same titles for lawyers in the UK. Maybe.
Record, tell her she will have to take me as a prisoner of war. Now, what happens when she takes me as a prisoner of war?
You aren't a prisoner of war if you're found guilty of contempt of court or whatever you're being accused of. That's not what it is. You'd be a normal prisoner in jail for a crime that you have been convicted of.
What happens to my standing? What happens to...
Could be his sister. True.
her standing at that point?
It seems like it's someone who doesn't buy into this sovereign citizen stuff, but is connected to him in some way, whether it be a sister or a wife or whatever.
Her standing at that point is that she instantly impersonates as if she was military. And there's many ramifications can come forward from that. If she actually has been militarized in the past, let's say she was National Guard or regular Army or whatever, I don't know anything about Stormy's past life history. She admitted she had it, and I advised peace upon the land. He didn't say peace at sea, peace upon the land. Until that point, roughly somewhere around I think it's late 1865, early 1866, that standard was the standard that was flown. And if you pay attention, those of you that watch TV and what have you, get the old movie of North by Northwest, the old black and white with Cary Grant in it, who's on the run for being framed for a murder he did.
I don't think North by Northwest is in black and white, is it? It's an Alfred Hitchcock color film, I'm pretty sure. Yeah. He's not even right about that. What the fuck? Interesting.
Didn't commit.
Is it Northwest Passage?
No, North by Northwest is the name of the movie. Okay. Cary Grant is the principal actor. There will be a clip in there about 20 seconds long, wherein he rushes in.
Why did they bring their own special coffee cup? I did notice that. Like, this coffee cup's different than this coffee cup. And this one looks more like a restaurant coffee cup than this. So I have no idea. Maybe the restaurant just has a bunch of random coffee cups? I don't know.
Nations building in New York, and is desperately looking for sanctuary and a telephone booth to make.
Oh, they colorized it later. I didn't know that.
Make a quick call in as he's trying to flee. If you look up behind him, you will see a 30-foot long civil peace standard, just exactly like what I had around my shoulders this morning. In other words, I
that looks delicious.
Clad myself in the colors of actual law of the land. Now, let's swing this.
Oh, biscuits and gravy. Yes, please.
Subject back. Thank you, ma'am. Very welcome.
Baja, when I get paid from Twitch next, I'm gonna get us some dinner from, like, Denny's or IHOP or something, and I'm gonna get some biscuits and gravy.
You guys want hot sauce at all?
That sounds amazing.
No? Okay. Enjoy, you guys.
Cool. All right. So, now, let's say that Stormy has decided she's going to impersonate a federal court. That's fine. If she wishes to commit impersonation, that's her business. I don't recommend it to anybody. She better know what happens when you impersonate something. But even if she is impersonating a federal court, she then is expressing that she is in alignment with the U.S. Supreme Court, which has issued rulings that says a driver's license is a moot
Is there a Waffle House near us? Nope, I've never eaten at a Waffle House.
point when it comes to state national Americans who are not actively involved by contract form in the crisscrossing interstate.
Oh, shit. Well, I clicked off it anyway. That's fine. That's enough living man for today. Natural man. I keep calling him living man. Here's the bunny for a cleanse. That's cute.
Is that good?
It's shaped like a star.
You gonna eat the hard bits? Yeah, he'll figure it out soon enough. He wants it so bad. But if I let him out, he'll steal it from him. So he's gotta wait. Jesus. Good boy. Happy birthday, buddy.
Oh. That's cute. Very, very cute. I like that you made it a star. That's nice. Let's look at some of these, or maybe some of... Where did it go? Fuck it. Let's look at some of these.
Good evening. Yes, this chase ended here in front of South Shore Hospital, where officers say the woman did not go peacefully and where she tried to use, they say, an unusual legal argument.
went past both of those.
36-year-old Jessica Davis from Bridgewater listened in court as prosecutors described how she led police on a slow-speed chase through 2 South Shore towns.
All right, we had a motor vehicle accident in front of the Dunkin' Donuts up Bedford Street. One vehicle is fled. I'm in pursuit northbound on 18.
Police say it started at this intersection in Abington, where Davis's Mercury Grand Marquis T-boned another car. They say she took off, and so they chased her, trying twice to box her in with their cruisers.
At that point, the defendant then proceeded back into the roadway, turning to the right, and then driving off the roadway onto the lawn of a home.
The chase stretched for about 4 miles through Abington and Weymouth on main roads and side streets, finally ending in front of South Shore Hospital, where police say they had to smash the window of Davis's car and drag her out. They say as they did, she claimed sovereign nation status. That may refer to a movement more commonly known as sovereign citizens.
Ridiculous.
I'll be an innocent man. He says I'd be wrong.
So I assume that's a not guilty plea?
I'd be an innocent man.
Sir?
I'm innocent.
Let's see. Start at the end and move up. Oh, I can't show that one. There's violence in it. That's a shame.
Mr. Oldham, come on up, sir. What number is Mr. Oldham? Let's see. What brings you to our court today, Mr. Oldham? Officer Robert Meehan. How are you today?
Fine. I'm the beneficiary of the James Oldham.
You know you've been here before.
Yes, sir.
You're always welcome here.
Thank you. I love being here. You're one of my favorite judges.
Am I?
Yes, you are.
Somebody said you got me in the...
Oh boy. Maybe it's just me, but I can imagine being in a situation where I go to court enough when not being a lawyer that I have judges that I know well enough to say, "You're my favorite." Yikes.
Internet, you made me popular on the internet. Is that true, or is that somebody else?
That's true, Your Honor. I misjudged you, and I should make a correction there.
You misjudged me?
Yes, I did.
Well, I don't know what you judged me, but I think you're a great fella.
I think you are, too.
And, yeah, somebody said, oh, that Mr. Oldham, he thinks you're a star. He made you a star on the internet. I don't know, but, they said you're going too fast today.
I did get the message from Jake. It was very nice. I'm glad everything's working out for you.
That's what it... officer, what's the charge? Tell me, what do you charge against Mr. Oldham today? And how fast... Tell me, how do you plead to this charge? The officer said you were speeding, Mr. Oldham.
I would just ask for the officer if he could say what proper cause of action he's brought against me. If he...
Oh, God, no. If you're asked for if you're guilty or not guilty, you can plead guilty, not guilty, no contest. Those are your options.
Actually has any standing in this courtroom. It's my understanding by the Florida statutes that in order for someone to be brought to court, that the plaintiff must show some...
I'm going to give you your chance. You know, I always give you a full chance to be heard, but you know how it works. You have a right to remain silent until they go forward. So we get put the burden on them first. Then
capitalism.
Belzthar says, R.I.P. my student loans, also my patience with dumbass coworkers with 100 bits. Congratulations, you finally paid them off, and that's fantastic.
They're going to go forward, then I'm going to give you a chance. Gentlemen, you might want to fasten your seatbelts. All right, let me see. And you know you're in a friendly court, Mr. Oldham. You are welcome here anytime, sir, but justice, you know, doesn't have friends. You don't want to have a judge who rule because of friends, do you?
No, but I just would like to fairly...
Well, let's hear from the officer for it, then you're going to get a full chance to be heard. Okay. Officer, tell me your name, please.
Officer Robert Meehan, Palm Bay Police Department Trafficking.
You ever met Mr. Oldham on the road before this day?
Yes, sir, I have.
Okay, tell me what happens, officer. Officer Meehan?
Yes, on November 16th at approximately 2 p.m., I was on a stationary radar on San Filippo and near Eldorado. I observed a white two-door traveling southbound at a high rate of speed. Estimated the vehicle was traveling 60 miles an hour in the 40-mile-an-hour zone. My radar indicated that the vehicle was actually traveling 64 miles an hour. Conducted a traffic stop at San Filippo and Palomar, where the driver was identified, this gentleman here, by his driver's license. Advised him that I stopped him for a 64 to 40-mile-an-hour zone. I issued that citation. He was not arguing. Issued him that citation. I also advised him that I was not giving him a reduction of speed because I had stopped the vehicle earlier in the day for stealing his tires. So I gave him that citation. I gave him a warning on the speed. Issued him the citation. The citation.
So basically, the cop says it was typical traffic stop. Isn't no contest? I did it, but I'm not going to admit I did it. Basically,
you are certified to operate the radar. Show me your personal.
No contest as a plea basically means I'm not going to admit guilt. However, I recognize that this looks really bad, and there's no way I'm gonna get out of it. So. No contest.
Certification.
I trust him.
You trust him? You don't want to see the paperwork?
No, sir. It's okay.
Well, sometimes I make mistakes. I had a case here where I had to throw it out because I had some mistakes with the paperwork. But if you don't want to see it,
I'm sure he's up to snuff.
and what was the citation then, officer? You got here
64 and 40, sir.
person you cited. You see that person here today?
He's standing next to me.
All right, Mr. Olam, let's hear you, sir.
First off, officer, do you know how many elements are in proper cause of action?
Just a yes or no, sir. You have the right to ask you.
But yet you bring me into this court, and a violation of a statute is not cause in itself.
It is. It is. Sorry, let me. Sovereign citizens will often claim that without a direct victim, you cannot be subpoenaed and brought into court. You need a direct cause, as they call it. Basically, if I punch someone in the face, that is a direct cause of, like, a crime. There's a victim, it is a crime. I hurt someone, I can be brought to court for that. They believe that statutes like, you know, speeding, having a license plate, a proper registration, all that stuff, because they don't literally see a victim, despite the fact that these are all obviously statutes put into place to protect, you know, all of us on the road. They believe that these things, since they don't have a direct victim, are not crimes, and therefore they are not legitimate laws. Of course, that's ridiculous. That's not how it works, but that is how they see it.
In order to have standing, it's my understanding, then all the law books that I've read, that you have to show that you have suffered a loss or a damage. I have here Eversley versus State, 748 SO 2nd, Florida, 1999. Causation consists of two distinctive sub-elements before a defendant can be convicted of a crime. The state must prove beyond a reasonable doubt that the defendant's conduct was cause and fact, and two, the legal cause of the relevant harm, the but-for test. But for my alleged actions, this injury would not have occurred. And I state, where is the injured party? In order for you to have standing, a causation of action is some particular legal right of plaintiff against defendant, together with some definite violation thereof which occasions loss or damage. Lucky versus McCall, Manufacturing, 152 SO 2nd, 311 and 314. And Sowell versus Martin, 452 SO 2nd, 625. A party has standing when he or she has a sufficient stake in a justifiable controversy. Sierra Club versus Morton, 405 U.S. 727, 731. To establish standing, it must be shown that the party suffered injury in fact, for which relief is likely to be addressed. Wolf versus Selden, 422 U.S. 490, page 490 and 501. It may not be abstract, conjectural, or hypothetical. Allen versus Wright, 468 U.S. 737 and 791.
He's just quoting a bunch of court cases that he doesn't understand.
Wolf versus standing.
Research. You working now?
I'm 100% disabled veteran.
I was looking for a research assistant. I was thinking maybe
What does 100% disabled mean?
I spent many hours.
Pardon me?
I spent many hours down there in that law library, Your Honor.
Anything else?
Who petitioned our father to have a system of lower and higher courts and judges. And I've been in and out of court, and I know you're tired of seeing me, Your Honor, but I have started driving reasonably. In fact, I turned my license in because...
He actually called it driving and not traveling. That's a new one.
I figured out that driving is a very expensive privilege. That's beyond a privilege. I am under treatment for manic...
Jaded Heathens, I think he might mean for the VA, for the level of disability that you have from being in the military, and 100% disabled means you are unable to do most to all lines of work. Oh, I didn't know that. It's interesting.
Episodes that I've had, and I have been...
How did you get here today? How did you get here today?
My son.
Where is he?
Outside.
Bring him in. Deputy, bring him in.
I don't know where he is.
He's not outside in the hallway?
No.
Okay. Go ahead.
And at any rate, beside all this, I've tried to bring this up many times about standing, and you're aware of standing, and you might think, well, traffic court is not the same as a criminal court or even a civil court, but, the rule of law, it has to apply in any case. It's serious. I could go to jail for some of the traffic offenses. And standing is an issue. Now, if you look on there, I have reserved my rights under UCC 1-207, my common law rights, which gives me the ability to go to the Florida statutes and the Constitution and the Bill of Rights and take it out of the UCC. It's supposed to protect me from entering into hidden clauses and partial contracts. And I have done much research, and I know I'm right about this. The law library is filled. I could go and give you 3 statutes from every state of the union that talks about what standing is and what it takes for a plaintiff to bring action against me.
All right. Anything else?
And if all else fails, as I've told you before, I would love for the state to recognize me as an ambassador of our Heavenly Father. The Veterans Administration has as much as declared that I am a prophet in 1988. And if you have...
This escalated real quick. Okay, so he wants to be deemed a literal ambassador of the Lord, and he's saying that he's been deemed a prophet in 1988? What?
Looked at the internet, and you have looked at some of my blogs, and I put prophecies regularly on Facebook, and every one of them comes to pass exactly as I write them.
Doubt.
And if all else fails, I would love for the court to just recognize the fact that I am an ambassador of our Heavenly Father and grant me diplomatic immunity.
No, the court will never, ever, ever make a ruling saying that someone is an ambassador of any religious deity. We have separation of church and states. The state cannot make determinations on the viability or realism of some deity, right? You can't do that. And even if you could, why would they let you say you're an ambassador of the Lord? Like, you can't just claim that and then ask for diplomatic immunity so you can put diplomatic plates on your car and not get pulled over or have tickets. That's not how this works.
All else fails.
All right, anything else? Have a seat, Mr. Holden. Have a seat also. I'll take a 2-minute recess. Gentlemen, I'll take a 2-minute recess. Have a seat. I'll be back in a few minutes. Okay, folks, thank you all very much. We'll resume the matter, Mr. Holden. Come on up, sir. Okay, Mr. Holden, what I'm going to do now is having a little trouble with my computer here. Anything else you want to say before? Mr. Holden, I've considered everything. Anything else you want to say before I wrap it up? I listened to you about your standing issues and all. You've done a lot of good research.
Yes, sir. And
Don't encourage him, please.
I was being truthful when I said you are my favorite judge.
Pardon me?
I've seen many of these judges here in this courtroom, and you are my favorite judge. I was not. I'm serious about that. But if you do find me guilty, all I would ask is that you wouldn't adjudicate. That's all I would ask.
Okay, well, first of all, I want to tell you that these officers, you see them come here every day?
Yes, sir.
As you heard and yourself, they are very compassionate people. People go at 60, but they know what the fine is. They know times are so hard on the citizens, and they give a lot of people breaks. And as the officer said, you were not argumentative. You were pretty nice to him, you know. And let me make a few comments on you. One, folks like you are what keep this democracy alive, because...
Oh, God, don't encourage this behavior, Judge. I'm not telling you to be mean to him, but you don't have to be like, yes, please continue with this nonsense and waste our time.
You do the homework, you do the research, you insist on following the Constitution. That's a remarkable thing. That's a wonderful thing. You need to always question the government. Don't just go along and be afraid. Don't be scared of the government.
You should question the government, but do it in a reasonable way. If someone's questioning the government because they think they're an ambassador of a deity, no, that's not good. This person needs mental health care. They do not need to be lauded for their strange delusions.
The government should be scared of the people. The people shouldn't be scared of the government. And that's wonderful that citizens like you challenge the government, you do your homework, you come to court, you get a chance to be heard. You understand that?
Yes, sir.
So I appreciate everything you do. I appreciate and respect everything. But that, when I review a case, I got to review it by the facts. And so based on everything the officer said and everything else, I'm going to have to find you guilty of this charge, okay? Based on the facts only, nothing else. But I've looked at your record and all, and I'm going to cut you some slack. I'm going to withhold the points.
Thank you.
Okay, I'm going to withhold the points on you. But you're not driving anymore.
No, sir.
Don't let these officers see you driving again. They're just squealing the tires to begin with. What's that all about? You were just trying out something? Did you ever serve in the military?
Yes, sir.
Which branch?
The United States Army.
How long?
I spent 7 years, and then I filed as a conscientious objector due to my religious beliefs. And I was granted, took a while, but I was granted 100% disability, serving honorably.
Uh-huh.
And I was retired honorably. Sent out to pasture at 25 for filing for my rights under Army Regulation 1AO, and they just were not going to see that either.
I'll give you until June 5th to pay, okay?
Yes, sir.
I'm going to withhold the points. And thank you for everything you do for our country. Thank you, officer.
Thank you.
Have a good day. Mr. Oldham?
Yes, sir.
I'm going to give you a gift. I'll give you a copy of the stay right there. I'll give you a copy of the United States Constitution, okay? That's for me. Happy New Year.
Thank you. I wish you would have considered diplomatic immunity.
I have considered it. I have considered it. Believe me, that's why I went back there. I thought about it a long time. But if I give you diplomatic immunity, I have to give you diplomatic immunity on everything that you can go about and do as you wish. And I know that's not what you want to do. But I have considered that. Believe me, I didn't take it lightly.
You would know that I have a law that I keep that is binds me to a higher law than most people would ever be bound to. And you wouldn't have to worry if you did grant me diplomatic immunity of me.
I very much doubt that a judge in traffic court, even if they wanted to, could grant someone diplomatic immunity arbitrarily.
Taking advantage of that and doing things that an ordinary citizen would not do. I am bound by a higher law.
Well, God bless you. God bless you, my friend. Have a good day.
Jeez. That's a bad one. Let's see. Let's get back with Ronnie Davis and see what we got.
Ronnie Davis, a strong advocate.
Nope, not that one. How about this one? Looks like people are showing up at the compound, his cult compound.
Jack's going to be one of them.
Videos so much. That's what famous.
You are. Now you are. For a little while. No, but I like it when we got some officers around that honor the oath that know the law. A lot of cops don't know the law. They think traffic tickets are law.
Traffic tickets are part of the law. Yes, they are.
Took off on it.
I have not watched this one. It's the same cop, and they're standing in the same place, but this is a different one. They're just at the gate of the compound again with the same cop.
Full of 2 friends of mine. One was busted for pot. That judge is going to jail because pot's not against the law.
Pot is against the law in the state that you are in. Recreational use of marijuana has not been decriminalized or legalized in Florida.
It's against the statute, code, and ordinance. Then he tried to...
Statutes are laws.
Pull my same buddy over for traveling without a license and no insurance. Law. And now that...
Does this happen regularly? Yeah. They're a creepy, like, sovereign citizen cult.
Also got turned over. No other...
This guy's in prison now.
Across the Keys. They called it mutual combatant, but the Supreme Court, still standing case testimony, says it's not mutual.
They're talking to the kid again.
Combatant. It's stupidity and ignorance and extortion on the law's behalf. So we don't give them acquiescence and we sue the sons of bitches because that's what they deserve. I am your boss.
What for? He kidnapped a woman He was basically threatening people in his cult that if they were gonna leave, it would be in a body bag. Like, he wouldn't let them leave.
You are not mine. Know the difference. My father and grandfather's father.
And he also got charged with the unlawful practice of law because he's pretending to be a lawyer, basically.
4 wars.
And filing a bunch of frivolous documents in the court and trying to put liens against people.
And I ain't kissing your stupid ass for the bar. And that's what one of them just understood this last week. And then Judge Grode asked my boy, please don't put me in prison. Please don't put me in prison. Please don't put me in prison. And Judge Grode is in fact going to prison. So's Judge Franklin. She's being investigated right now by federal marshals. I love that because they think they're smart and they're dumb sons of bitches. Judge Green. That's what they are. When you don't honor.
I'm guessing when he says they're being investigated, basically what he got arrested, what he got in trouble for in terms of the unlawful practice of law is, A, he was presenting himself as if he was a lawyer in certain court situations, but also he's filing a ton of frivolous, ridiculous documents with the court. So when he says they're investigating, he probably sent some sort of document to state marshals or federal marshals or whoever saying something along the lines of, this judge is bad, I don't like them, here's a bunch of sovereign citizen nonsense as to why I think they've broken the law, investigate them, and then, you know, signs it in red pen with the thumbprint because they think that that's the only true signature, and he's like, boom, I nailed it, they're gonna investigate them now, instead of looking at it for 5 seconds and throwing it in the trash.
Your oath of office, I don't care who you are, I don't care what Freemason, Illuminati,
Is it the same video from a different angle? Why did they put the same video from a different angle on their fucking website? It's insanity. Here's a different one.
Hi, Deputy. How you doing?
These are different cops, so this has to be a different time.
That's good.
Why would they upload the same video twice? That's so bizarre. And all their videos are just titled like these random numerical strings too. Like, it's some crazy, crazy stuff.
I know. At least I'm glad it's you, actually. You were very decent and kind and professional the last time. I'm glad to have you.
Try to do my best.
That's all right. What's going on? This guy takes and pulls up while ago, the young lady, and I'm not sure who they are, okay? And the lady comes inside of the fence and walks on up. I got bulldogs here, ma'am, and I don't want nobody getting bit. You know, I keep to myself, we work to ourselves. We're interdependent, not dependent. And this lady rolls up. Good evening, officer. I'm good, sir. You? All right. She comes up and she comes on in the fence. You can see my fence is clearly legally marked, do not enter, and there's a reason why. I know about liability. I educate and teach law. So why would I want her to run up and have one of my babies? And I don't know who this individual is. You're walking up on private property.
He says he educates and teaches law. No. You think you know a lot about the law, but you actually know nothing and miseducate people. It would be like me, who does these sovereign citizen videos claiming I'm teaching you the law. I'm not. Nothing I say is legal advice. I do not have any training in the law. All I do is Google search stuff. I'm only one step ahead of this fucker. We're all the way down here. Lawyers and judges at the tippy top. Stop claiming you know things about the law when you don't. It's ridiculous.
Children running around here, and I gotta be careful. And I'm going to. That's why I have surveillance cameras all around my property, because people do stupid stuff. Well, they're not doing any more stupid stuff to me. Well, I don't know what ensued because I was in the house, but my two boys came out and they said, "Yes, ma'am, what you doing?"
There's nothing funny about the tools
Who
of
do you need? She said, "I'm looking."
Shiggity Schwa with 100 bits. I'm officially no longer work in a call center. Next stop, an international airport. Good. I'm glad you're no longer working in a place you don't like.
For Lisa. And he said, Lisa's not here right at the time, and I guess she pursued on up. She was asked to leave. Her boyfriend comes back, or whoever it was. He's standing out here in the yard, you know, whatever. He pulls up, and of course, I still ain't paying mind. I'm in the house minding my business. And he pushes the gate open with his truck. Okay, my gate is locked. That constitutes locked right there. Just, I do not need a lock. That constitutes.
This is in Florida, yes.
It's locked, so do these signs. He pushes the gate right on open with his truck. Now, I don't want nothing I don't want no damages pressed. I don't want no charges pressed. If he had no call to come up here, he really, for any reason at all. I got a box coming out here next week for people to ring the bell for courtesy in case fire department or local law enforcement was to pull up. I want you to not be greeted and shoot my dogs, because that's going to start a huge commercial lien against everybody's bond.
Again, threatening to frivolously file unlawful liens on other people. The thing that helped get you into jail. Good job.
That's why these things are marked just like this, because I respect you guys. Some of you guys are honoring your oath of office, and I love you for it. Okay? And I don't want you to get hurt. You get bit, you're going to shoot my animal. And that's going to piss me straight off. And then what do we got? Because I like you, and you haven't done a damn thing to me. You might be beautiful children of God for all I know. But shooting one of my family members is going to constitute a fight right away. And damn sure in court right afterwards. So, but at any rate, I just wanted the man to not be a prick. I don't know who he is. I don't know where he's at. But I'm sure with y'all's presence rolling up the road, whoever sees you is going to leave fair enough, well enough alone. I don't have no enemies that I'm aware of. I don't owe anybody any damages for recourse and remedy. I don't owe any outstanding bills. I have no outstanding anything anywhere. So there was no reason to handle that in such an answerable way. Forgive the colorful language.
Okay. So you don't have any idea who he is?
It could be Lisa's ex-husband, which he better stop, or I'm going to file recourse for remedy and have his ass put in jail with writs of attachment. And he doesn't understand, and we're tired of it. You know, when I say don't enter my yard because it's clearly marked, any trespassing has no immunity. Title 28 U.S.C. 2381 and canon number 7. To anyone. Well, this gentleman just walked off rude as hell. If you guys wanted to come and hang out, I'd invite you to a barbecue. You seem like good human beings, you know?
I'd rather not hang out with a cult. Thanks.
Bless your hearts, but assholes like that, no. No, don't ride up on my land like that. These bills is paid. This is our property. This is not, you know, we are in the process of getting a land title patent, which makes my land a no-fly zone.
Land title patent. Land patent. A land patent is an exclusive land grant made by a sovereign entity with respect to a particular tract of land. To make such a grant patent, a sovereign propriety landowner must document the land grant, securely sign and seal the document, and openly publish the documents for the public to see. An official land patent is the highest evidence of right, title, and interest to define an area. It is usually granted by a central, federal, or state government to an individual or a private company. Besides patent, other terms for the certificate that grants such rights include first title deed and first certificate. In the United States, all claims of land ownership can be traced back to a land patent. First title deed or similar document regarding the land originally owned by France, Spain, the United Kingdom, Mexico, the Kingdom of Hawaii, Russia, or Native Americans. A land patent is known in law as letters patent and usually issues to the original guarantee to their heirs and assigns forever. The patent stands as supreme title to the land because it attests that all evidence of the title existent before its issue date was reviewed by sovereign authority under which it was sealed, and was also sealed as irrefutable. Thus, at law, the land patent itself becomes the title to the land defined within its four corners. Okay. Legal entities other than natural persons, such as trusts and corporations, cannot obtain land patents except by express act of the United States of Congress. An example of Congress granting land through patents to corporate entities is the railroad grants made to compensate the railroad companies for building railroads across America.
You know, we don't use the fire department. We don't use their power. We generate everything. We take care of ourselves. Interdependent. No one has, you know, cause or vested interest to come up and crash my fence open. No,
what is sovereign citizenship? Sovereign citizens are conspiracy theorists, more or less, that believe that they can declare sovereignty from the government that rules the land in which they live. So they're effectively saying this guy lives in Florida. Being a sovereign citizen, although I don't know if he self-describes as such, he basically says, I have sovereignty. Your laws don't apply to me. I don't need a lot of sovereign citizens will believe things like, I don't need a driver's license, I don't need a title for my car, I don't need to follow your rules. I have not signed a contract that says that I follow the rules of the United States. I'm not a citizen, I am sovereign. Obviously, this is ridiculous and makes no sense, but it's a sort of scam that people have gotten themselves into, and they've been told that they can make traffic tickets and legal issues disappear by using this legal mumbo-jumbo that means nothing, and they use all sorts of, crazy logic in order to explain why laws shouldn't apply to them.
My little rant, I'll let you guys go back to real work. You know.
You want to set up a patrol request? That way we're looking on the lookout for a red truck?
Well, I'm figuring if he comes back, I'll call you right away. Okay. I handle things legally. I do not do anything with violence. I don't like things like that. I protect us legally because that's the only way for me to do things. I answer to a higher authority that does not shoot first and ask questions later. It ain't like that. No fighting and hurting no damn body. You ask first to see what could be a good human being out there. I don't really want to set up anything. I didn't call you out frivolously. I'm not wasting you guys' time.
I think they would beg to differ.
If that individual probably sees your presence in here, he's going to realize, oh, they're cop callers. Good. You keep that in mind. You got yourself right. I will definitely call these sheriff deputies out here to haul your punk ass off to jail if you infringe on even the least of my rights. And he was kind of rude by knocking my gate open. I don't understand that. But I think this is her husband. That's why you was out here not before last. Okay. And that could be this. And we have the right to know our accusers. If this takes place and the same people keep on harassing me, I don't want to know their name, because watch this, guys. Hey, man, I don't want to know their name. You know their name. And don't worry, when I file commercial liens for harassment by these people who keep sending the law to my house, your boss is going to sue them for frivolously standing you out here when you could be saving a life somewhere. Correct. And that's, and I don't want to do that either. I just don't want trouble. Officer Cotillo, I do not want trouble with nobody.
I mean, I just want to let you know your options. I mean, if this continues and you believe it's him, you can get an injunction against him.
See? Now listen, go ahead.
Injunctions pretty much where he can't have any contact with you. He can't come within 500 feet of your residence, 100 feet of your vehicle. There's no contact by phone, email, third-party contact. Like, I can't tell this deputy to come tell you something from me.
That's not true. That's right. So, you have to do. That's right.
If he violates it anyway, he goes to jail. I mean, that's just one of the ways you can kind of help.
Brilliant camera work.
I will use exactly those statutes, codes, and ordinances because I'd rather you handle it than the guy come crashing through my fence and one of my...
The weird thing is he'll say, I will use all those statutes, but earlier he's like, statutes aren't law. So which is it? Statutes don't apply to you, but you can use them to hurt other people? What?
Boys load his ass up one night. Okay,
yeah,
we have babies up in here, So that's on you. And be careful, guys. Because
we definitely haven't seen this one. He just repeats himself a lot.
There's a shortage of decent officers out here upholding that Title 28, USC 2381, and Canon number 7. You guys that honor your oath of office are my brothers and sisters. Just know that. Just know it. If I ever saw you getting your ass handed to you, I'd help you get that creature off of you and subdue him. That's what we do. I teach law. This is Bears Law and Forensic Team right here you ran up on. We take babies from CPS, man, and give them back to their families when we find out that they're not a maggot, so to speak. But yeah, I don't want to repress anything at this time, officers. I just want to, your presence right now has reassured me, and it's also let the asshole know that crashed our gate that we'll call the law on you, we'll call these deputies on you, and that's pretty much all. I mean, I wasn't trying to waste your time.
No,
honest to God, I wasn't. Thank you. I just don't want him to go to jail. If it's a misunderstanding, or something's going on between them, but if it, like I said, if it's Jack Haney, he's about to find out what an affidavit is, and then if I go ahead and I get with the Secretary of State real quick and file it and send it off in red ink, he'll pick his ass up with a bodily writ of attachment, and that's where you guys come in because they'll arrest his ass.
The cops are like, what the fuck are you talking about? Stop, we just want to leave.
For harassing me and stalking ordinances and stuff like that. But yeah,
sovereign citizens are the only time I feel even a little bad for the police, ever.
I'm good. As long as if you guys are alright with it and we'll let it go this time, then I'll let it go this time. All right, thank you,
All right.
officers. God bless you. Thank you. What's your
Have a
name,
good
officer? Nice to meet you, sir. Nice to meet you. All right, you guys be safe. Have a good day. Blessings. Awesome. That's it, guys. That's all we have.
Gross. They have a bunch of deleted videos.
Video too.
Okay.
All right.
That's good.
So, do you have permission to be on the property here?
We just pulled up. I can move if I have to.
Okay.
It's a public
Might be.
parking lot,
Well,
right?
it depends. It's actually private property. It's not public access property. It's not private, public property. Okay. It's owned by a corporation here. And if they want you to leave, you would have to leave.
Yeah.
All right. I'm not looking to go that route. I just want to know who I'm speaking with.
My name's Skeeter Brewer, but
Skeeter Brewer?
Yeah.
That's what's on your driver's license?
Yep.
Fair enough.
How do you spell that?
Skeeter Brewer.
Do you have ID with you by chance?
I do not.
B-R-E-W-E-R.
Who's driving? Who's driving?
Date of birth?
December 68.
December 68. What day? 8. What's your name?
I prefer not to give my name out.
Oh, God.
Well, while we're here, let's do a safety inspection on your vehicle real quick.
A safety inspection.
So basically, it seems like they're loitering probably in the parking lot with these RVs, and the store, whatever company owns the store, probably called the cops to be like, hey, there's these RVs in our parking lot. Could you come check them out? Which is funny because, like, I think Walmart has a policy where if you have an RV or something, or if you're like a trucker, you're allowed to park in their parking lot. So just find a Walmart and, like, it's fine. They won't call the cops on you. Is it in a Walmart parking lot? I thought Walmart had a policy where they let you. Let's see. Walmart parking lot RV. While we do not offer electrical service or accommodations typically necessary for RV customers, Walmart values RV travelers and considers them among our best customers. Consequently, we do permit RV parking on our store parking lots as we are able. Let's see. Can I park my RV at a Walmart store? Permission to park is extended by individual store managers based on the availability of parking space and local laws. So it's sort of up to the discretion of the particular store, but their corporate policy is more or less allow it. And they say, please contact management in each store to ensure accommodations before parking your RV. Fair enough. But it seems like they do try and be accommodating. I don't know how long they were parked here, though. Although I don't see a Walmart sign on this thing, so I don't know if it is actually a Walmart. It looks like it's a Winn-Dixie, not a Walmart. That is a, oh boy, that's hard to read. A Coastal Furniture Store and a Winn-Dixie.
Yes, you do, sir. All we did was we received a call.
Oh yeah, these are the same, this is the same people from the cult. So, this is also Florida. Winn-Dixies still exist? I don't know if they still do, but why are cops scoping out the trailer? Probably because the guy said he didn't want to give his name, so they're probably just giving him a hard time because they're giving them a hard time.
We're just making sure. You can stop and get something to eat. You can travel anywhere you'd like. We just received a call. We're just making sure everything checks out, okay?
Okay, well, who called
Are you
on
that we're
us?
going to do something to violate your constitutional rights? That's why you want to record us? I'm curious on that.
I just want to record because I know that there's been a lot of stuff throughout the entire world where police have, gone past their boundaries and everything like that. Just like with you carry a camera so that just in case somebody goes against you, it's the same type of deal.
Okay, so you're a little bit scared of the police, correct?
Well, no, I'm not scared of the
It's reasonable to record the police, okay? Come on.
police. I just want to make sure everybody's safe.
Okay, well, you do...
I agree, these cops do suck.
to have a license.
I don't like sovereign citizens, but holy fuck. They're being a little, respect my authority. They're being, that kind of cop.
To operate one of these vehicles, so if you're going down the road in it, you would need to present it if pulled over. Fair enough on that?
Well,
Otherwise, we don't have to present any ID anyway.
Actually, you're required to produce ID if law enforcement is here on official business, which...
That is true. In the course of an investigation, if they're called for some reason, they are allowed to ask for your name and license, and you are required to provide those to them.
We are, okay, doing an official investigation, at which point in time you will be required to produce an ID. Contrary to what you're being told, you probably want to look up some information on that.
I did look
Supreme
up
Court rulings, okay? You're not looking on the right...
actually, Supreme Court ruling as of a few weeks ago showed on there that wasn't the
You're
case.
incorrect. We would have been advised of that.
Well, there was actually a memo that's been sent out.
You got a memo
Untrue.
and I didn't?
It's quite possible.
That's pretty impressive. That you can get a memo from the Supreme Court.
It is entirely possible that you just don't know, dude. And again, I'm not saying this is the case because it's not. If you're asked during the course of an investigation by the police, hey, what's your name and ID? You're required to give that. But, it is possible that your department just didn't get the memo yet. Come on, you're not infallible. Everyone in this video sucks so much, and I hate it.
The sheriff?
What's that?
Have you ever heard of affidavit of sheriff?
I don't hear it. I can't hear you.
Have you ever heard of affidavit of sheriffs?
Affidavit of sheriffs?
No, I haven't.
That was...
Random cutoff. I don't know if his phone died or what. Alright. A little bit of a shorter stream today. I think that's going to be it, just because I got to go get ready for D&D, and Baja Blast is tired and would like a neck massage. And I would like to provide that for her. So, check out my YouTube channel where I paste all, or where I put all these videos. This video will be out on here and cut up in just a little bit. Stay tuned for Charisma Saves on Jake's channel later, which is our D&D stream. Twitch.tv/actualjake. Thanks, everyone. Chat is valid. Let me see if there's anyone I can raid, actually. Who's live? The Surfs TV. Great, we'll do the Surfs.
It's what the US is doing. So what the US is doing to sanction China, it's not going to make China want to change their system at all. China is so resource rich.
So thanks, everyone. I hope you have a wonderful night. People with new jobs, congratulations. People who have bunnies who it's their birthday, happy birthday to the bunny. Everyone else, see you later.
I mean, they have
a good night.
amount of people that they can sell to, and all the advertisements in their native language and all this.